You've been sending in your daily fantasy questions on Twitter through the hashtag AskDraftKings. @Teeks20 has tweeted in, who would you put on your DraftKings lineup first, Henry or Nistelrooy? I can't even say his name. You know what I mean, Ruud van Nistelrooy.
I would go for Henry first, I think.
Why?
Because, well, Van Nistelrooy is a Premier League
Just
legend.
Just because you can say his name? Or?
There's no doubt about it. Well, I think that's a start, but I think it's the fact that he's just a penalty box player. That is it. Whereas with Henry, of course, he started out as a winger for France and for Monaco, so there's so much more to him, and so I think you're going to get more through assists.
Jamie?
I'd definitely go for Henry over Van Nistelrooy. He took corners as well for Arsenal, which should score you highly in terms of crosses and assists. Obviously got so many goals, and yeah, Van Nistelrooy is too much of just a box player.
I would take Henry, overall better player for me.
Unanimous.
Yeah,
it's the right choice.
Yeah. Nistelrooy's just a goal scorer for me. Henry had the full up.
Yeah.
At World Cup Dan B has tweeted in, what are the 3 biggest tips you can give to people playing DraftKings? Jamie, I'm going to come to you. You're the expert.
Right, so first off, make sure your budget lasts, because you don't want to spend all your money on 3 players and then end up with nothing left, because you're going to be picking players that aren't even playing if you're sort of scrabbling around for the $2,500 defenders. None of them usually, the $2,000 defenders, none of them usually play. So that's one thing you shouldn't do. Another thing, just look at the stats that go under the radar a bit. Look at tackles, look at interceptions, look at, especially like fouls drawn is a great stat to look at. You look at players and you'll be like, oh, how did they get that many points this week? Yeah. Usually because they got loads of fouls drawn and they're being fouled all game. And then third, look at the fixtures that are happening each week. It's a good way to get players for a lot of value. So if you've got sort of a team that are rubbish playing at home to a really good team, the players will be cheaper that are from the good team, and you can pick them up for less money.
Love it. And at freedom_footy has tweeted in, pound for pound, who has been the best Premier League performer in DraftKings this season so far?
I think it's Dimitri Payet. I mean, he's got the best fantasy points per game out of any player, and he was really...
And he's a hammer.
Yeah, and he was very, very cheap at the start of the season. He's just progressed from there. He's very expensive now, but you're still getting the big performances from him every week. He swings in crosses all the time, gets assists and gets goals.
It's reflective of his contractual situation. Very cheap at the start of the season and not so much.
I'm a massive fan of Payet, you?
Oh, he's magic.
Yeah.
Bielsa opened him up at Marseille, and Bilic has used him in exactly the same way as Bielsa did at Marseille.
Really?
Magic.
Love it. Cheers, guys. For more advice on daily fantasy sports, subscribe to the DraftKings UK channel.